Hello everybody, this is KM Shay and I'm here with episode 2 of Storytime. Today we are going to take a quiet ride through the Shire rather than fight goblins because it took me quite a few takes in order to get you guys Storytime episode 1 since I kept dying, and dying usually produces inappropriate verbal responses in me. So yeah, we're backing off and taking it a little easier today. Our first question for today's episode is from Fantasy Nerd, and they ask, do you enjoy leaving your books in horrible cliffhangers that make readers want to scream because the second book isn't out yet? I'm assuming this is for Robin Hood, in which the case is yes! No, I'm joking. I totally learned my lesson on this. I didn't mean to make everybody as upset as they were about the cliffhanger, and in the future, I promise I'll try not to have cliffhangers, and if I do, I at least won't make them quite so epic. Sorry about that. And next up is question 2, which is from Vicky. She asks, do you base your characters on real people, or are they completely fictional? This is kind of a tricky question. For starters, the Robin Hood crew, they're all based off of characters from the ballads for the most part, with some real people thrown in, obviously King Richard and Prince John, but the scholar at the end of Robin Hood 2 was also a real person. In my other books, some of the characters have aspects or traits of people I know. Usually I over-exaggerate everything for the sake of making it humorous. I have never written a character that is completely based off of somebody I know. However, that being said, some of the zingers and the one-liners, or even the names of people, are things I get from friends, family, acquaintances, people I overhear at the grocery store, etc. I also want to briefly mention Red Rope of Fate, which is my adult romance fantasy book that's coming out in April. It's about an elf and a human who, although they speak different languages, they discover they can understand each other. Guys, I know this book sounds really weird, and I know the fact that it's high fantasy is going to make some of you guys leery. I tried to keep the stereotypical waxing on and on about the imaginary world to a minimum, because I would get really bored with that too, to be honest. And I made sure to include the humor and original eccentric characters, but I think what will be the selling point of this book to you guys is the fact that it really focuses on relationships. This is the first book I've written that actually has a decent chunk of romance in it. And the book isn't just about the romance, though. A lot of the twists also deal with relationships, but it's more like political intrigue. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Okay, back to our questions. The third question is from Gretchen, and she asks, what do you do in your spare time? I mostly read and write, obviously, but I also play with Perfect Dog, that's my dog, and I skulk around a lot in public places so I can awkwardly lurk in conversations. I get a lot of good plots that way, believe it or not. I do not spend an embarrassing amount of time getting all the dances and cosmetic outfits in Lord of the Rings online. No. That's all for this episode, champions. Thanks for watching. Please like it, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Back to the questions, and our fourth question... it's our third question. Retake. Question. I can say this right. I will say this right. Question. And architecture and languages and... I'm babbling, actually. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, restart.